Two legendary cruises, one unforgettable decision. Dave Koz Jazz Cruise or the Soul Train Cruise. Smooth jazz or nonstop soul. Which vibe fits your tribe? In this video, we're breaking it down in 4 categories: price, ports, ships, and concert experience. Let's do it. All right, let's talk about the thing that gets real fast, the price. These cruises aren't your average weekend getaway. Each cruise is 7 nights and they're premium experiences, and that shows in the ticket price. On the Dave Koz Cruise, prices start at around $2,500 per person for an inside cabin and go all the way up to $6,500 per person for a suite. Last year, we paid $2,800 for an inside cabin. On the Soul Train Cruise, cabins are a bit more affordable, with inside cabins starting at around $2,000 per person and suites topping out at around $5,200 per person. On the Soul Train Cruise in 2024, we paid approximately $3,100 each for our balcony cabin. Here's the bottom line. The Dave Koz Cruise is more expensive. You also have to take into consideration the fact that the cruise usually leaves from an international port. So you also have the added expense of plane fare and most likely a hotel for a day or two before or after the cruise. Next up, let's talk about where we're going, because the ports of call are a big determining factor. Last year, the Dave Koz Cruise sailed from Athens, Greece. In addition to stops in Santorini, Mykonos, and Olympia, we also went to Malta and Sicily. This year, the cruise is sailing to and from Rotterdam in the Netherlands to Iceland, with stops in Norway. We've already booked our cruise for next year, where we will sail from Sao Paulo, Brazil to Buenos Aires, Argentina. So let's talk about Soul Train. The Soul Train Cruise always leaves from Fort Lauderdale and typically cruises to the Caribbean. Past stops have included San Juan, Puerto Rico, the Bahamas, and the Dominican Republic. For me, these ports are less exciting. This year we went to Cozumel and Belize City, both of which were very underwhelming. Next year, we're sailing to St. Thomas and St. Martin, which is a port that we just went to in 2024. Dave Koz is the clear winner in this category. One of my biggest complaints about the Soul Train Cruise are the overly crowded touristy ports and the multiple days at sea. For the last few years, both cruises have sailed on ships from the Holland America Line, which is known for their mid-sized luxury vessels, which are not too big but not too small. They're very comfortable. For our first time on the Dave Koz Cruise, this was kind of cool because although we were sailing on the Oosterdam, we immediately felt like we knew our way around the ship because it was very similar to the New Amsterdam, which is the ship that the Soul Train Cruise primarily sails on. However, for 2026, Dave Koz has upgraded to the Celebrity Equinox, which is a newer ship with luxury amenities. For this category, I'm going to give the slight edge to Dave Koz for the newer and fancier ship for 2026. Now for the main event, the music. Both cruises pack their schedules with nonstop shows, both day and night. The Dave Koz Cruise is a jazz lover's paradise. Boney James, Jonathan Butler, Marcus Miller, Paul Jackson Jr., and of course, Dave Koz himself. There are dozens of concerts, jam sessions, late night sets, and even collaborative performances you won't see anywhere else. Now the Soul Train Cruise, that's a nonstop party. If you're like me and you grew up on Saturday mornings watching Don Cornelius on Soul Train, then this is the cruise for you. Past lineups have included Boyz II Men, The Stylistics, Drew Hill, Charlie Wilson, and Stephanie Mills. The shows are big, loud, and feel like a throwback to a different time. There are dance contests, costume parties, and even Soul Train trivia nights. I'm not a huge jazz fan, so a lot of the artists on the Dave Koz Cruise are unknown to me. So for this one, Soul Train is the clear favorite. If you've been keeping score, you'll realize that we have a tie. While Dave Koz wins for both the ports and the ship, the Soul Train Cruise wins for price and for music. So I guess until I have a clear favorite, I'll have to keep going on both. Let me know in the comments below which cruise floats your boat and if you've been on either and what's your favorite. As always, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.